What is up, everybody? I'm GetFlanked, and today I'm going to be giving you some advice on how you can select your first operators in Rainbow Six Siege. This advice is going to be designed to give beginning players some guidance on which operators they should be directed towards and trying out as they learn the game. I'm going to give you two operators on both attack and defense that I recommend for newer players, tell you why I recommend them, and I'm also going to mention a couple operators that I think new players should stay away from until they learn the game a little bit more. Let's start on the attacking side, and the first operator I'm going to recommend is Sledge. And the reason I recommend Sledge for new players is because I feel like his kit as a whole will make sense to players even if they're not familiar with Rainbow Six Siege necessarily. His gadget is simple yet very, very effective and important. It's just a big hammer that puts holes in soft walls and will give you lines of sight in soft floors. He has a really solid gun option with that L85. It's got nice attachments that you can choose from. He also has frag grenades available to him, and anybody who's played pretty much any FPS ever knows exactly how those work. But the biggest reason I recommend Sledge is because this is an operator that you can grow with. He is played at every skill level in Rainbow Six Siege, from beginners all the way up to Pro League. And as you learn the maps more and get better as a player, you'll only find Sledge more and more useful. The next operator I'm going to recommend on attack is Ace, and the reason that I recommend Ace is because he's one of the most self-reliant operators in the game. He can do a lot of different things all on his own. He can hard breach, he can soft breach if he brings the secondary breaching charges, and he also has a great gun in that AK-12, so his frag potential is very high as well. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Ace is that you will be playing as a hard breach operator, and that means that you do need to work with your team some, okay? If you are attacking an objective that has an exterior hard wall, you might need to hang around outside, drone for your teammates, and put yourself in a position where you can use your utility. Sometimes an entire strat will rely on you opening a wall as Ace, so keep that in mind. But with that said, as a solo queue player, there's not many operators that can do as much as Ace. Moving over to defense now, and I'll go ahead and just say both of these now because they have some similarities that we're going to talk about. On defense, I'm going to recommend Lesion and Thorn. The reason that I recommend Lesion and Thorn is that they both fall into that trap operator category, and their utility, their gadget, can help new players who are lacking in some situational awareness that comes with time in Siege. With Thorn, she gets 3 of her Razor Bloom shells that she can deploy in the prep phase over tops of doors, under windows, or in hallways. They'll pretty much stick to anything, and if any attacker enters their area of effect, they will go off, making a very loud noise and possibly killing the opponent if they don't get out of the way. Lesion has goo mines that are very similar in that they're a trap that makes noise if an enemy steps on them, but he accrues the goo mines over time. By the end of the prep phase, he'll have 2 that he can place. They go invisible once they're placed, or nearly invisible, and then if an attacker steps on them, they make a very loud noise, and the attacker has to actually pull them out or they will start receiving damage. The reason that both of these gadgets are so useful for new players is that they can act as a warning system. As a new player, you don't know where attackers are likely to come from in many situations, so getting these gadgets out and allowing them to give you a warning on where attackers might be coming from can be the difference between you living and dying and being prepared for a potential gunfight. Both Lesion and Thorn also have very strong SMGs as well, so once again, we've not only got a great gadget, but also a good gun with high fragging capability as well. Now let me tell you a couple operators that I think you should stay away from, and I'll do one on attack and defense. On defense, I'm going to recommend that you stay away from Caveira, at least at first. Caveira can be very strong, but for a new player who doesn't have very much map knowledge, it's not very likely you're going to get much use out of her. She's strongest when you know the maps, know where attackers are likely to come from. You can use that silent step to your advantage to get a surprise on enemies, and then hopefully get an interrogation off helping your team. But a lot of things have to go right, and you have to be very knowledgeable in order to make that happen. On attack, I'm going to recommend that you stay away from Montagne. It might seem like a good idea to pick an operator as a new player that you can be behind a shield and be protected, but there's a lot of weaknesses to shields in the game nowadays, and you're not going to be learning some of the valuable mechanics that you need to progress as a player. Playing Monty isn't like playing most other operators, so I think you should learn the base operators first and then move on to shield operators as you get more experienced. Okay, that's going to do it for my recommendations as far as operators for newer players. Last thing I want to say here is make sure you're having fun. The beauty of Siege is in the variety of operators and the different playstyles that they all have. Make sure you're trying different stuff out. Yes, I made recommendations to you here that I think will help click in the very beginning, but you shouldn't be only playing 1 or 2 operators for every round. Try different stuff out. See what clicks for you. When you find those operators that you really gel with, Siege becomes much more enjoyable.